It is completely baffling when you first fire it up. Cricket's obviously a complex sport, and this is a new way to play it. Yet, there's no tutorial. So, getting to grips with the way it works is a drawn out and frustrating process, and would be near impossible if your cricketing experience only went as far as whacking a tennis ball around the park or mimicking the chaps on TV without understanding any of the lingo. Don't know your off stump from your leg stump, you might as well give up now. Seeing as EA is an American company, and no offense, America is not really a cricket loving nation. The USA national team is not that bad after all. The cricket games that they have produced have not really been of very high quality. Cricket 2002 suffered from being too easy. So, in their latest attempt to appeal to an international audience, EA decided to give it another go by releasing Cricket 2005. Unfortunately, this game is not really all that great. Growing up in Pakistan, where the two main sports are cricket along with cricket, I have a lot of experience with the gentleman's game, and I have to say that this game does not live up to my expectations. I prefer the real thing. The first thing that you will probably notice is the fully licensing of all the players and teams as well as stadiums, which is the simple best aspect of all EA Sports games. Every player, every team, and every stadium is fully licensed, and the only thing that are not licensed are the cricket equipment brands, which is very easy to live with. The game menus are all fluid. Graphically, the game is very sound, albeit a bit limited. Players' models look great mostly for the top players and the USA team, but teams like Canada have horribly generic faces. There was really not a lot of effort put into it, and you can see that rather obviously from the way they look. Team kits are top class, they look practically like the real thing. Kudos to EA in that department. The cricket equipment is also terrific apart from the bland EA symbol on the bat and ball. They look great. There is a visible umpire on the pitch whom you can easily see when bowling or batting. His animations are somewhat limited, seeing as he only has one animation for each call, and the fact that there are only two umpire models in the game, the crowd is still the horrible cardboard figures from the FIFA series. The stadiums look incredibly well done, and you can see that EA at least had the effort to go out and look at them instead of downloading pictures from the internet. Animations were really sore in my book because there was no variation amongst them. Fielders, they always dive in the same way, and they always pick the ball up in the same way. It gets really repetitive after a few games. Bowling and batting are no better. Batsmen can only hit the ball in specific ways, and it's really painful to watch him play the same shot every time. Bowlers seem to not understand the concept of variation either. I'm pretty sure that Harbhajan Singh has a unique run-up, but in this game, all spin bowlers have the same run-up as do all fast bowlers. Apart from that unfortunate but rather large error, the graphics were pretty good, but not great. The game's sound was bad. The commentator is boring. This guy goes out of his way to bore you. He is incapable of expressions. You will hear all that he has to say after a couple of games, and he really doesn't have much to offer afterwards. He sure doesn't know how to celebrate a six. There is crowd applause and the like, which is nice touch. There is also a healthy supply of music in the game, most of which I did not really enjoy. You only hear it when you are surfing menus, however. So bring your own music for those boring test matches. In terms of actual cricket, this game falls flat on its face because after you get over the steep learning curve, the game becomes far too easy. There are 3 difficulty levels and the change is noticeable. Although I was still whacking sixes even on the hardest difficulty, after you get used to it, you will easily be able to score over 1,000 runs in one day cricket and make untouchable totals. Not to mention the fact that you can abuse the bowling to get teams out for 10 runs. It is really broken. Of course, this is only applicable to the weak AI. First and foremost, this game offers a wide variety of play options. You can start a World Cup or Test series instantly from the main menu, or you just play a one-day friendly if you felt like it. You have the option to change the stadiums as well as stadium conditions, weather, and pitch type in order to maximize your game. There is large amount of customization involved and it is interesting to look at all of it. The game features almost every single international team available as well as several cricket clubs from England and Australia. There are also World One Day and World Test teams which are obviously the best in the game. You have complete control of squad selection, batting and bowling order as well as choosing the captain. This control is amazingly well executed. You also have the ability to make your own cricket player and place him alongside your heroes. It is very well done on the developer's part. Instead of a tutorial, there's a training net section to try and teach you about the intricacies of playing cricket. This lets you practice the techniques briefly outlined in the manual and then tells you roughly what you did wrong. Roughly is the operative word here. The actual game is again disappointing. After the coin is tossed, you can choose if you want to bat or bowl and then you play. Batting is well coordinated but poorly executed. You have 3 keys that control 3 different shot types. By combining these keys with the directional buttons, you arrive at the possibility of 12 different shots and that's it. Just 12 shots for all the possible balls you may encounter. By holding down shift when you take your shot, you in essence power it up and aim for a 6. However, only a handful of shot types have the possibility to actually make the 6, so it is a bit limited. Now, unlike Cricket 2002, where all your players, even the dead outsider bowlers, could whack sixes with ease, Cricket 2005 balances it out. I mean, while it was cool, it is also extremely stupid to see Makaya Antony make 36 runs off 1 over. Now we have a much more refined system. Your opening batsmen are normally the best and the only ones capable of big hits while your bowlers are unable to swing for 4s, let alone 6s. This also pans out pretty poorly because once you lose your openers, the rest of your batsmen are not up to the task. This is more noticeable with certain teams such as India. Batsman confidence is also a big element of gameplay. If batsmen frequently make big hits and such, a meter on the screen will fill up. The more full it is, the more power your batsman applies to his shots. It is a very good system, but unfortunately, as said before, this doesn't work well with tail enders. That's not even everything I have to say about batting. For example, Why on earth can you only move the batsman along the crease up to the point at which it becomes useful? Being able to step side to side to play stroke is critical. Cricket 2005 simply doesn't support this. Oh, and did I mention that most of the camera angles will obscure your view of where the red marker that shows where the ball's going to bounce? We probably should, given that he is going to survive this attempt to run. Bowling is a bit better, but it does become very boring very quickly. You watch the bowler start his run-up and then choose how you want to pitch the ball from a variety of options. You then proceed to choose where to pitch it. It is pretty simple overall and doesn't really need much practice. If you feel up to it, there is a bowling exploit that will allow you to get the opposition out on every ball. A bit cheap really, and detrimental to gameplay. This only works against the AI obviously. Fielding is another story. You can change the settings to auto fielding or to manual fielding from the options menu. Auto fielding is the easiest since the AI will initiate automatic dives and saves for you. Just like all other cricket games, manual fielding is broken. It is next to impossible to judge where the ball is and to initiate dives yourself accordingly. I could not wrap myself around it. It is a complete waste of time. Just stick to auto fielding and you will be fine. The AI is horrid. Batting AI on hard difficulty is incredibly stupid and will seek to try to impossible shot or block easy sixes. It really is not good enough for a human opponent. Bowling AI is equally abysmal. Bowlers frequently bowl fours or appeal for nothing and it is really irritating. I did not like the AI at all. There is also an element of randomness when it comes to the AI. The batsman plays the shots across the screen towards the same fielder, who then caught literally 4 batsmen in a row. After a present number of balls, the computer will bowl a no ball or it will hit a 6, regardless of what you do. The AI is very easy to beat and will not last very long. There is no online mode, but there is a multiplayer aspect that allows you to play with a keyboard and up to 3 gamepads. Human opponents make the game much more fun and this should really be your main attraction to the game. You can also play on the same team, which adds a whole new level to the game. The multiplayer is great and could really have benefited from online play, but we can't have everything, can we? Ultimately, you should only buy this game if you are a cricket fan. Poor sound and average gameplay plague this game, but it is still playable. EA Cricket 2004, Brian Lara Cricket 99, and the first 2 Don Bradman cricket games from Big Ant Studios are much better option than this one. If you like today's video, make sure you subscribe to Irrational Gamer. Goodbye.